Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
I honestly believe that to be able to coach someone deeply, you need to learn their world, and before you give advice or a tool or something, you need to almost, this is extreme, but like become them.
Yeah, I was saying energetically sharing the same energy.
Yeah.
Their release is your release.
Yeah. And so in that process, it's very much personal. And it's like, to fully understand someone, you have to understand how their world is engaging with your world. And, the way that they are will teach you how you are. If they've been able to have an awareness in some place in their life and you haven't, you all of a sudden go, oh my God. And I think that's where mastery of a coach comes from, is the opening up. I think that on the other side of the spectrum, coaches that are like, I have this methodology, I have all this, I'm going to tell you how it is. And then they leave the coaching session without changing, without opening, without transforming. That's the bad end of the stick, And I think the same
I
is
guess
with podcasts.
Depends on what they're trying to do, right? Because it's like, that's kind of the quandary, the polarization I've been with too, is that a lot of times, if somebody is coming to me for, I want to get ahead of my career or so on, and then I'm noticing like, oh, well, the block seems like it's in this kind of emotional area or this part and so on. My tendency a lot of times is to move very quickly into the emotional piece, because that's what I'm doing on my own. I figure, okay, unconscious, like they're doing it too, but the speed only moves at the speed of trust and their own system. And then sometimes it'll get kind of caught up in like, wait a minute, I just want to get stuff done, right? Versus I want to heal into this area. And then I had other ones where it's like complete opposite. It was like I started to try to coach that person on stuff, and they're like, dude, no, I just want to do the emotional things. It's like, what the heck is going on around here? Oh my gosh,
And I think that's the dance, right? That's like the, speaking from a part and for a part, right? And if the main goal is the interview, like being able to maintain the interview container and being aware of parts, but not driven by the parts. Like same thing in coaching, where it's like, the more that I'm aware of my parts, interacting with their parts, that's such good information. But there's like, what's the container and its presence, right? It's like, do they need a solution or do they need to just be seen?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, that's
mostly the latter.
Yeah. And it's like, do they need a solution so that they relax and then they show themselves to where they can be seen?
Yeah.
And that's the dance, right? Like that's on the path to mastery. It's that. It's almost like putting your protections down so that you can feel your parts, but they don't jump in and they're at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I find my best work with people is when they're kind of trusting and showing their parts, and then I can see my parts and I'm informed by both. And then I can breathe, and I'm then like, where do I have an agenda? And it's like, okay, agenda's out. My agenda's out. What's here and how can I be present to that?
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.